Hey, how you doing? This is your boy BrogiNaric back again with another episode of TV Aftermath. And in this video, I'm going to be giving my non-spoiler review of The Boys Season 2, which recently finished. I did a video some weeks ago reviewing the first 3 episodes. This is going to be a non-spoiler review of the full season. And before I get into it, don't forget to like this video, share it, subscribe to the channel, and check out other videos on the channel. I'm still growing, and thanks for doing that. And I just want to say this series is on Amazon Prime, so if you want to watch it there, watch it on Prime. And it's just really good, really great series. Loved the first season, and the second season did not disappoint. Now this season was different in terms of the release. First season was like Netflix; they dropped all 8 episodes at once. This season, Amazon dropped the first 3, and then the rest came out weekly. And that actually, I was kind of iffy about it at first, but it actually worked out. It kept the show, kind of like with The Mandalorian, it kind of kept it being a topic for a couple of weeks. Also, you keep subscribers on the service for a while, so it worked out. I'm hearing they're going to do that with the Expanse Season 5. I can live with that. So, yeah, it's a good strategy. So I'm fine with it. So just to get that out of the way. So The Boys is based on a comic book that was created by Garth Ennis and drawn by Derek Robertson. The series is produced by Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg, and it's developed for TV by Eric Kripke. And like I said, 8 episodes, and it was great. Really good series, and it's insane. It's not for the weak of heart. The series focuses on this, it picks up after the first season. There will be some spoilers from the first season, I think. There's a couple, but it's season 2. I got to talk about things that happened in season 1. But this season focuses on the boys. They're on the run from being exposed last season. They don't have the government on their side, so the superheroes and the company Vought is looking for them. And during their time, the boys uncovered this conspiracy of super terrorists that are invading America, and they have to kind of get back into the swing of things and try to stop those behind it. And that's a quick synopsis. There's a lot of other things that happen, but that's non-spoilers, so I can't get too deep into it. But yeah, it was awesome. I'm going to go with the pros and cons first before I get to the characters. So pros. Great character development this season. There's a lot of questions that you may have had about the characters from the first season. A lot of that stuff is answered. Certain people's backstories are explained. Certain motivations are developed. And this is great, just a great improvement. The comedy is superb in this season. Just amazing. The comedy and the satire. Just fire. That's my favorite stuff, is the satire. When they make fun of Hollywood or politics or just the media in general. This shit is hilarious. Corporatization, all that stuff is amazing. It's super violent. This season is just as violent, if not, actually I would say it's more violent than the last season. So if you don't like violence and gore, there's a good amount of it in this show. And those are the main positives. Cons, there's a little thing involving a place that's supposed to be super secret and hard to get into, but it's really not for certain people. That kind of bugged me. There's some other stuff you can break down, but in terms of how certain people's powers work and stuff like that, there's a mystery whether you're surprised by the reveal. I thought it was good. Some people, you could pick it apart, I guess, to a degree. So those are some of the cons. So I'm going to get to the characters now. Your lead, not necessarily the lead, but the POV character from the first season, Huey Campbell, played by Jack Quaid. I like the character. I guess some people don't like the character. He is like kind of the least interesting. You know, he's the most regular out of everyone. And in this season, and that kind of plays the part, because everyone else is like either superpowered or military badasses. He's just this random dude. And this life of a criminal on the run is just not working for him. He has serious PTSD. He is depressed. He's somewhat suicidal. And he's struggling, just hanging there. And he wants to help people, but when he tries to help, he kind of screws it up in a way. And he's trying to gain more respect, which kind of leads to, especially early on, some conflict between him and Butcher, Billy Butcher, who is kind of your main lead. He's played by Carl Urban, Butcher is great this season. Butcher, at the end of the first season, I fucking hated Butcher because he started going down a dark path. The more they explain certain things about him in this season, I really start to legitimately like his character. He's still an asshole, but his motivations and why he does certain things is explained a lot better. Where I actually do like him more. Carl Urban is having fun with his character. It's so cool. Butcher, he wants to be the leader, but he's still focused on his goal, which is to find his wife Becca. Which, if you know, at the end of season 1, he saw her, and he's trying to deal with the idea of knowing that his wife is alive and has a kid with Homelander. And his goal is to try to get back with her no matter who gets in his way. He doesn't care. And he's having to struggle with doing the right thing and being selfish. That's like his main struggles. And it's done very well. You also have, of course, Homelander, who is played by Anthony Starr. He is great. I don't know where this guy has been out his career, but this character is just, he's going to be remembered for this character. Homelander is goddamn insane this season. He is off the rails because his mom, the person that was keeping him in check, Madeline Sitwell, is gone. So he is like taking control of his brand, of his media, all of that, and he is unhinged, and he is doing whatever he wants, and it causes problems. And he's struggling with his insecurity. I'm going to be saying that word a lot. He's struggling with his insecurity to want to be loved and having control, and things start not going his way, and he does not know how to deal with it. And he handles it in some very weird and interesting ways. He has some of the funniest and most fucked up moments in this season. I can't get into all of them. I will say one of them does involve breast milk, which was super gross. And then there's some other stuff that is just like, wow. But besides all of that, he does care for his son Ryan, which that stuff is interesting, where he wants Ryan to have a better life than he did. He's a little toxic and kind of weird about going about it, but he does care for his son. And he's, what's the other thing? He's deeply insecure, and he kind of gets some help dealing with that to a degree, for a little bit. Another returning character is that of Starlight, who is played by Erin Moriarty. And she, was a young hero, got to be with the big leagues, didn't work out for her, and she's just disillusioned about all of that. And she's really dealing with, she's lost her faith. She was raised to be very religious, her finding out about the whole superheroes aren't given their powers from God, it's given to them by the drug. She's still mad about that, and her mom lied to her, and she's struggling with her faith. But she's also on edge because she's surrounded by people who she can't trust, who could kill her at any moment, and are kind of looking at her kind of sideways because of her connection with Huey. So that brings a lot of problems for her. And some other characters we get a lot of backstory from is Frenchy and Kamiko, played by Toma Capon and Karen Fukuhara. They're great. They're little love kind of, well, not love, because it's more like Frenchie's infatuated with her, and Kamiko is very reserved. You learned a lot about them individually, and then there's some conflict between them of, Frenchie trying to get to be her, she's kind of on her own, and the struggles between them two, because Kamiko goes through some serious stuff that I can't quite get into, that's be a spoiler, but she's out for revenge, I'll say that much. And Frenchy is out to be redeemed for the whole thing that happened with Lamplighter, which we do find out about that. And we find out a lot of stuff about Frenchy, because Frenchy was a mystery, and they answer a lot of stuff about him, which was greatly appreciated. Now to get into some new characters that appeared in this season. If you're not familiar with this character, I'm going to talk about the character of Stormfront, who was played by Aya Cash. Never heard of this actress, but she is amazing in this series. Probably one of my favorite characters in the show. It's like her, Butcher, Homelander, and Mother's Milk are like 4 top favorite characters. She's a new member of the Seven. She's a superhero. She can fly, lightning, and all of that. And she's very cocky. She speaks her mind. She's very savvy with social media, and she kind of causes conflict with Homelander because she's starting to steal his shine a little bit. But she will piss people off. She's an interesting character, especially when she first appears. It's like, oh, she's really dope. But things kind of go for another turn. She fits in with the Seven, and Stormfront is really good. There's a lot of the satire comes from her as well. Certain things that she talks about. It's interesting. Very good stuff. And then another new character is that of Stan Edgar. Well, we get more of is Stan Edgar, who is played by Giancarlo Esposito from Breaking Bad, Gus from Breaking Bad, and basically bad guy in everything he is now. He's another bad guy in this. It's a basic role, but Giancarlo Esposito is very good at that type of role. He's the head of Vought, and seeing him being this evil businessman manipulating the media and kind of manipulating the facts and all that, he's really good at that role. He's not in it a lot, but he's a great guest star in this season. And another character I will talk about that is returning is the Deep, played by Chase Crawford. The Deep done some fucked up things in season 1, and he is still paying for that. And he's so desperate. He wants to get back on 7. He makes a very interesting life choice. That stuff is hilarious. The stuff because his the main story, and then there's a lot of different plot lines with the ensemble cast, but his is one that consistently pops up, and it's really good. I like how it's weaved into the main story, especially towards the end. Funny, but also fuck that guy. They almost kind of make you feel sorry for him, but no, fuck that guy. And the other members of the 7, like A-Train and especially Queen Maeve, get good stuff. Queen Maeve, I would say the most improved character from season 1 for me is Queen Maeve. Her storyline, basically the same as the first one, but it's expanded upon more. It's more urgency around it. Really good. Queen Maeve is dope this season. I really like her. I hated her in season 1. She's great this season. As I talk about my favorite episode, for me, it's a bit of a struggle, but I would say my favorite episode is episode 7, Butcher Baker, Candlestick Maker. It has a great opening. It has a very great ending, cliffhanger ending. There's a lot of character stuff that happens, especially with Butcher in that season. Cool fights and some really funny stuff in that episode. So yeah, that would be my favorite episode. So all in all, The Boys season 2, great time. I would give it A+ or 10 out of 10. Really good. #1 show this year. It stuck the landing. It really did, and it was just great. I immediately want a season 3. They've already highlighted they got a spinoff coming. I'm excited for the spinoff at this point. At first, they're doing a spinoff about the Supes in college and how they get drafted to different states, which I thought was an interesting concept mentioned in season 1. They're going to do a show about it. I'm going to check it out because I like this world, and just getting more into it is going to be interesting. The way this season ends is really interesting. The playing field, some things are kind of the same, but then there's a new thing that's popping up, and I want to see the direction that's going. So it's very interesting. Check it out. It's worth your time. So that's pretty much all I have to say for non-spoilers. If you like this video, once again, don't forget to like it, share, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more videos. Peace.